Hi, in this video, we're going to look at determining whether lines are parallel or perpendicular or neither. So the key idea here is that if two lines are parallel, those lines are going to have the same slope. If they're perpendicular, they're going to have opposite signs and reciprocal. So just as a quick example, if let's suppose you know that one line has a slope of 3, if another line is parallel to it, it's also going to have a slope of 3. So we could have something like y equals 3x plus 2, and maybe the other line is y equals 3x plus 7, but they both have this slope of 3, so we know that those two lines are parallel. Perpendicular lines, on the other hand, have slopes that are opposite signs and reciprocal. So if the one has a slope of 3, its perpendicular line would have to have a slope with the opposite sign, so it would be a negative, and it's going to be the reciprocal. So we could think of this as 3 over 1. Its reciprocal would be 1 over 3. So that would be one example if we had a slope that was already looked like a fraction. If we had something like 2/5, to be perpendicular, it would be a negative, and we would flip that fraction. It would be 5 over 2. So that's the idea. So if they're the same slope, they're parallel. Opposite and reciprocal slopes, they're perpendicular. To determine what the slope is, usually it's going to be one of these two ways. Either you know the 2 points on the lines, so you can calculate the slope using this formula and compare, or you can get the line to be in slope-intercept form, that y equals mx plus b, where m is telling us the slope, and then you can tell that way. So this is the one we're going to focus on here. So this video, I'm just going to show an example doing this. So I have these two equations that are not yet in y equals mx plus b form. But if we can get them into that form, then we can more readily compare their slopes. So let's start with equation 1 here, and I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing. So 6 times parentheses x plus 2 minus 2y equals 20. So I want to make it look more like this. I want to get the y by itself, get everything else on the other side, and then I can see what the slope is. So first, I'll just distribute that I've got a 6x plus 12 minus 2y equals 20. Let's get the 12 over to the other side first. So that's canceled. I've got 6x minus 2y equals 8. Still working to get the y all by itself. So I need to also cancel out these 6x's. So this is a 0. So all I have remaining on the left-hand side is negative 2y. Over here, I have my negative 6x plus 8. And I just wrote it in this order because that way it kind of matches. Like we want mx plus b. Like we want the x's first, then the constant. So I have, getting pretty close now, I want y all by itself. So right now y is multiplying by negative 2. I've got to divide by negative 2 to cancel that out, make it just 1y. But I need to do that to every term. So I do it here, I do it here. So I have y equals 3x minus 4. And now it's in that mx plus b form. And here's my m. This coefficient of x is the slope of the line. So the slope of this line 1 is equal to 3. So since it's the first one, I'm just going to put a little m1 here. So the slope of line 1 is 3. Now let's do a similar thing for line 2. And I'm going to try to fit it in right next to it so we can more directly compare. So this one has the original equation y plus 3 plus 3x equals 10. I'll subtract my 3. So this way, canceled out the 3 here. I just have y plus 3x equals 7. I need to get the y completely by itself here. So I still have to take away these 3 x's. So that's a 0. So I have y. Again, just to keep the order matching here, I want my x term first. So negative 3x plus 7. And here's my slope. So this one has a slope of negative 3. I'm going to call this m2. So these are not the same. One is positive, one is negative, so they're not the same. So these lines are not parallel. So we know the lines are not parallel because it's not the same slope. The lines are also not perpendicular because they are opposite signs, but they're not reciprocal. So the lines are not perpendicular. not opposite sign, and reciprocal. So these two lines happen to be neither. They are neither parallel nor perpendicular. um, or perpendicular. And that's it. So the main idea when you're trying to figure out if two lines are parallel or perpendicular, the big thing you want to do is somehow figure out the slope of both lines and compare those slopes. And again, usually it's going to either be done by, if you have equations, rearrange the equations to be in this form, or if you're just given points on the line, you can use the slope equation, or one of each. Maybe you know points on one line, you know an equation for another, but somehow or other you figure out the slope of each line, and then you can pretty readily see, are they the same? Are they opposite reciprocal? Or are they neither? Um, so that is it for this one. Thank you.